here are the 4 reasons why I think the Silver Tsunami is some BS. First off, I want to preface this entire rant by, yes, I am on my soapbox, but also business buying is a great way to build wealth. Like, I've done it. I acquire businesses all over the Middle Tennessee area in those categories that I mentioned earlier. Like, I enjoy business buying. That's how I live my life. That's how I make money. That being said, the Silver Tsunami craze, it's not what it's cracked up to be. And here are the 4 reasons why. First off, you might hear 10,000 baby boomers are retiring every single day and 19% of them own small businesses. Yes, technically those numbers are right, but let's get something correct. First off, retirement, and it's not 20% of all those 10,000. It's not a perfect cut. All of the statistics show that people who are owning businesses are actually holding on to them longer than ever before. A decade ago, if you were 75, only 3% of people own businesses. Now it's 5% of people own businesses. The average age of retirement was 65. Now it's like 71 for business owners. And so that's stretching out. So the Silver Tsunami is lengthening. It's not just this dump of like every boomer has to get out. It's the slow trickle. And so most of the retirements you're actually seeing are from the workforce. You're seeing them get out of corporate America. They have nice pension packages. They have nice retirement packages. They sold their house that they bought for $40K for $1.2 million, and they're using that to live the rest of their lives. But it's not a dump all at once in these next few years, like that they have to sell their business. It's a longer stretch. That's the first part. I hate the name and like the rhetoric around it, but that's the first reason. The second reason is that most of these businesses are not actually salvageable. When you start looking at the businesses that these boomers are selling, they're nothing. They have no enterprise value. A boomer that runs a 2-man travel agency that other boomers use to go and do travel because that's how they've done travel for the last 60 years. No longer is anybody using that. Those numbers have slowly been decreasing every single year until now. It's maybe making them enough to kind of get by. It's making them some extra chump change, but it's not a business. It's not a business that I would sell or I could buy. But in the eyes of the government and in the eyes of these statistics, it is. And so it's not an accurate statistic that 20% are shutting down businesses. Yeah, they're shutting down side hustles, essentially. There's 19-year-old kids who are running greater, larger, more fantastic side hustles than a lot of these boomer businesses that you're supposed to be buying. Another one is like vacuum repair shops. Like, we've all seen these antiquated businesses that are slowly going out of business. And this is just the inevitable progression with AI and with all these other, the internet. We've seen it in big box stores shutting down. Like, this move away from brick and mortar is where a lot of these businesses historically have been. And last but not least is like general contracting. How many of these businesses that are sellable that you need to be buying for this Silver Tsunami, how many of them are construction related businesses? And the answer is a huge portion. So the ADP came out with a statistic that said by 2031, 41% of the construction workforce is going to be retired. And let's be clear about something. Most of that 41% is not carpenters. It's not drywall guys. I mean, some of them are. I get it. I'm not denying that. But I'm just going to say a vast majority of them are in higher levels of construction, like they're in management or they're owners, including my father-in-law. He just shut down his GC business in Lake Tahoe, Nevada, one of the highest end. He was doing $5 to $10 million homes and building them from the ground up and was doing super well for himself. It was a great lifestyle business, but there was no sale. And there was nothing he could sell to. One, because he didn't know that he could sell. But two, there was very little enterprise value because the business was called his name construction. And in the recent years, like, he's just kind of let it go into a lifestyle phase where he's taken smaller jobs and smaller jobs and smaller jobs until he's ready to get out altogether. So I think you're going to see a huge portion of this retirement being from the construction industry. Number 3 is private equity is buying all the good ones. So anybody who has really great access to capital, they're buying all the cream of the crop, the top 10%. Businesses that you imagine when you say, oh, I'm picking up these businesses that were old boomer businesses, like most of them are going to private equity, hands down. I mean, I'm in groups with masterminds and of people who have bought these businesses that are, fax machine and paper, but most of them that are doing well, 2-3 million in EBITDA, they're going straight off to private equity groups or to large roll-ups or to anybody who has that kind of funding, and it's not available to the average person who's trying to buy one of these on a SBA 7A loan. It's just, that's what we are given the vision of, and that's not technically what the Silver Tsunami is providing. It's very, very difficult to grab one of those. And then number 4 is, point of the Silver Tsunami is a huge transference of wealth. But is there actually a huge transference of wealth? You could argue that there's actually an AI tsunami, that there was a drop shipping tsunami, that there was a selling on Amazon from 2013 to 2020. Like, these are more tsunamis than they're more of a boom in the business world via large changes and opportunities to the market versus buying a boring business. Buying a boring business is great. I do it. I love it. But it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not this idea that is propagated that you buy all these retiring businesses and it's just, you just slap them together and you just add technology to them. These are serious run businesses that a lot of times you're buying this $2-3 million in revenue business that took them 30 years to get there. It takes people 3 months to sell an AI tool that will do the same amount in revenue. So I don't think there's actually a huge transference of wealth in this case. I think more of it is it's going to get shut down. It's going to go away. It's going to be withheld versus if you were to go into a different field and try to do that transference of wealth through like AI or something. All that to be said, it's possible. I mean, there are industries where there really was a silver tsunami. I think storage is a great answer to that. There's a lot of older storage owners that were getting out, but more of a real estate play versus a business play, right? So there wasn't too much in the operations side. It was a lot easier. And so that legitimately was a silver tsunami of sorts. And it's been eaten up absolutely by now private equity as well. See point number 3, but also it's just been kind of run its course. They're not as available anymore. I am anti the rhetoric of the silver tsunami because 1, I don't think it's true from a retirement standpoint. I don't think it's a dumping of wealth over the next 3 to 5 years. It's like a dumping of wealth over the next 15 years. Like, congratulations. Not that big of a or quick of a deal. Number 2, most of them aren't salvageable. You're not buying a 60-year-old GC. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to buy a general constructions company. And if you do, you're going to have the hardship with that. Number 3, if it is a good one, and there are good industries like self-storage, private equity is scooping them up. If they haven't scooped them up already, and they're actively going after the same ones that you want, the difference is they actually have the capital, they have the people, they have the backing to be able to do that and run that at a loss for a certain amount of time, whereas you have to pay that debt off immediately. And then number 4, there's bigger fish to fry, right? AI and historically has been like drop shipping, or historically has been selling on Amazon or selling on TikTok. Like, there's so many other large transferences of wealth that actually are tsunamis, and it's not buying boomer businesses. If you like what you heard, like and comment below. Tell me what I missed. Tell me what I did right. Maybe you have some differing opinions. Maybe you buy boomer businesses more than I do, and it works for you. I'd love to see what kind of industry that is, and we'd love to chat. Like, subscribe to the channel, and find us at ownedandoperated.com. Listen to the podcast, drops every Tuesday and Thursday.